Are you ready for the biggest event in crypto history? The Crypto Summit is happening this Friday, March 7th, 2025, just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen, 2 days away. And it's absolutely set to change America and the future financial landscape forever. And this just isn't a conference. It's absolutely a pivotal moment for cryptocurrency being brought to the forefront for everyone to hear about, to learn about. Everyone's talking about it, and it's for a good reason. And in this video, we're going to dive deeper into what to expect from this, why it matters, and how you can position yourself long-term in these markets so you can have success. Hello again, this is Zip, and I'm happy you're here. I hope everyone is absolutely doing fantastic, and your mindset is on lock and positive, and you're seeing the macro view of the assets that you own. Let's go ahead and get straight into it and get into the details of what is happening. But there's so much positive energy out there in the air all around, and Ripple's president, Monica Long, feels it as well. And let's hear what she has to say.
United States for some of these technologies.
It feels like the floodgates are going to open this year, doesn't it? I mean, so within the past week, a couple weeks, so SAB 121 being called back or rolled back. And I mean, within, it felt like minutes, you hear from CEOs like Bank of America saying, we're all in. And, these are institutions that Bank of America was one of our early partners.
Again, the floodgates are opening, and we've seen a lot of movement in just over 2 months. And now the Crypto Summit is happening this Friday again, is a landmark event. It's going to have industry giants like Brad Garlinghouse there. Charles Hoskinson is rumored to be there as well. The list is still coming out. We'll have Michael Saylor will be there from MicroStrategy. And it's just drawing a lot of attention from all the corners of the financial world. As I said last night, when America moves, everyone is watching. And everyone's going to be getting on board, and that flywheel effect is starting to take place. And there's also talk about President Trump possibly unveiling a Bitcoin reserve strategy. Now, if he does that, that's a move that is going to legitimize Bitcoin on a global scale, because America's getting into the game, ladies and gentlemen. But beyond the hype, the summit represents a lot bigger picture than that. It's a shift how we are starting to think, how we think about money, wealth, and the future of the financial system. And today I'm going to walk through what that means for everybody out there and how to navigate through these changes ahead, just remaining calm and having a long-term mindset. Now let's jump straight in. So let's start with the summit itself. So Brad Garlinghouse, we know, is going to be there, who is the CEO of Ripple and XRP. Michael Saylor, and we're going to have Charles Hoskinson there, as well as many other industry leaders. And their presence alone signals the importance of the event. But here's the deal. If the president does announce a Bitcoin reserve strategy, we can expect that if that happens, legitimately, the United States may be holding as a strategic asset Bitcoin, along with the other stockpile of cryptos that President Trump has already acknowledged that would be in that stockpile. Absolutely huge. And if it happens, you can expect it's going to send shockwaves through the markets. And we could see, just like we saw last weekend, everything spike up. And then we could be in for it would draw back again. And that's just what the markets do. That's why they say, buy the rumor, sell the news. If we do see those, I would just caution everyone, just don't get caught up with the noise. Stay calm, stay collective, stay positioned, and don't, FOMO into anything. Now, with Charles being there, obviously he has a wealth of knowledge and also has expressed some of the details and the challenges that are enveloped around crypto and getting it implemented within the system. Let's take a listen to what he says here.
The good news is there's a bicameral working group, and they're in direct communication on a regular basis with SACs. But there is a strong congressional component to this, and it's not as just simple as signing an executive order and then it's done. There are some edge cases where they may have some wiggle room and flexibility, but everything is just a game of, okay, well, how far can we actually take this, and also what's the permanence of this? So there are some ways you can do it where there's a temporary thing to incentivize stuff. There are other ways you can do it where it's an actual permanent change in tax code. The quorum you have to form is either 50 or 60. You start getting into some pretty bipartisan territories, when you go down that road. So I know Trump wants to do no tax on crypto, American crypto. The big challenge is that it's almost certainly going to be litigated if they try to pick people arbitrarily.
Again, these are big, hard things to implement into the system. It's going to take some bipartisan agreement. No tax on crypto would absolutely be phenomenal. And we'll see where we go with that. And that could change the way that we exit these markets if we don't have to pay taxes on them. It absolutely, definitely may change things as far as the exit targets that you have for your assets that you own. But as Charles is saying, it's the big picture, the regulation, all the tentacles and the things that need to get done to get this stuff implemented. So it's a permanent solution and maybe not a temporary solution as he was talking about there. Now, as if the crypto summit wasn't enough, that's only one piece of the puzzle. March is absolutely March Madness, not for basketball, but for crypto, with what is going on and the other things that are going on in the environment. Let's take a closer look. We know March 6th, tomorrow, the CFTC forum on tokenized assets and stablecoins. So they're going to be talking about that tomorrow. And we know who else is going to be there? Ripple. Again, Ripple is in everything, in every discussion. Circle, Coinbase, Crypto.com, and MoonPay are also supposed to be there. But again, it's a CEO forum to have a discussion about the launching of digital asset markets and what that's going to look like. What else do we have going on? We have on March 10th through 14th, the Senate Banking Committee is set to possibly vote on this stablecoin bill. Again, the stablecoin bill is the Senate Banking Committee, the legislation, which is absolutely crucial step toward establishing a regulatory framework for stablecoins. These are digital assets, ladies and gentlemen, that are going to be pegged one for one to the US dollar. Absolutely important that we get this stablecoin regulation in place, because in my opinion, again, the stablecoins are going to be the front end, if you would, of the financial environment, and they will be what we are using each day for a payment structure. And this is supposed to be building on top of the Genius Act, which aimed to set clear rules for what? Payment stablecoins. Again, it's all about payments in the financial environment that is changing right before our eyes. And then after that, we have on March 21st, the SEC is going to have its first crypto roundtable. Absolutely exciting and amazing to see all this happening so quickly. But that event there is going to allow the SEC to engage directly again with industry stakeholders, and they're going to discuss effective regulation of digital assets. We know that committee, that task force is led by Commissioner Hester Peirce, and the SEC's crypto task force it is part of a broader effort to do and to create a unified regulatory framework. Now, what are all these signals? These signals are a coordinated effort by the US government, by America, to bring structure and clarity to the crypto space. Up to this point, we know there's been no structure, there's been pushback, there's been choke points, and as investors, our job is just to stay informed, and that's why I'm putting this information out there to make you sure you are well versed in a macro market, a macro view of these developments, because they can significantly impact the market, which impacts what we own. So you got to have that broad horizon and that broad picture. Now, to understand the broad points of this in the financial system, we really need to talk about the dollar. Okay. So why the summit and all the broader regulatory push is so significant is because the US dollar that we use and that we are used to is inflationary. We know they just print more money when they need it, which that means what? It loses value over time. Since 1913, the dollar's lost approximately 97% of its purchasing power. Now, imagine you're holding an ice cube and it's melting away year after year. That's exactly what's happening. The dollars in our bank accounts, the dollars in our hands are melting away year after year because the Federal Reserve keeps printing more money, diluting its value. Now, as we can see here in this inflation calculator, just an easy visual, since 1913 to now, if we had $100, that same item, that same $100, you would need $3,208, which is 3,108% increase in the amount of money you need because it's inflationary. Now, as compared to the assets we hold like XRP, what? Those are deflationary in value. They have a fixed supply amount. So they're not being printed. They can't, there no more Bitcoin can be made. Whatever there is, which means what? It becomes scarcer and scarcer. Again, deflationary assets, they're like diamonds. The value will just continue to increase as demand grows, as institutions start to gobble this stuff up, as more retail comes in and starts to gobble this stuff up. That's where the value is going to come from. And that's where we're going to see the prices go up in the precious crypto and the assets that we own. We're seeing BlackRock and all these other billionaire investors flocking to crypto, and they're absolutely going to scoop millions and millions and millions and millions, if not billions of dollars up, not to include all the technology that's going on be in place with tokenization, which will need to use some of the assets. And it's not just a trend. This is absolutely your hedge, a hedge for the nation against inflation and a way for us to preserve our future wealth. And that's what you need to have in mind. So how am I taking advantage of this? So what I've been doing is for many years, I've been buying crypto and DCAing into deflationary assets like XRP and making that my stores of value. Okay. Bitcoin, if you like Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. It's a store of value and it's deflationary. Now, I am going to sell parts of that off, but I am never getting rid of all of it because it's going to protect my wealth generationally. Now, there's other methods and things that I want to make some videos on and other ways to, to avoid taxes and to keep more of that wealth inside of your family. But you want to have a long-term vision. Again, I'm thinking out 5, 10, even 20 years out so I can understand how to keep more of these assets as they start to explode and you become a millionaire or millionaire or a billionaire, depending on how much you have, whatever the case is. But this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. We want to think about it in the terms of generational wealth and just have that long-term mindset and begin to understand how money works and what it can do for you and your family. The money itself is never going to make you happy, but what it can do for you and your family and others absolutely will bring joy to you. But you got to have that long-term mindset. So let's try to wrap this up a little bit. So what did we go over again? March and everything that is going on in March with the summit this Friday. Tomorrow is the CFTC meeting. And then the 10th through the 14th, we've got stablecoin bills that are supposed to be voted on. And then the 21st is the SEC is going to hold its crypto roundtable. So much momentum going on. Going back to the video I did last night with the flywheel, There's more and more momentum, and everyone is looking at the United States, because if we buy into this technology and we buy into it, that environment and the payment systems that are going to change, the world is going to come in behind us and also buy into it. So the financial system is changing. That's what I'm trying to present day in and day out, to give you the macro view, how it's going to affect you. Whether you're ready or not, it will affect you. So we just need to stay calm. We need to stay informed, and we need to have a focus on building wealth, again, for the long haul, that long macro view, and understand the technologies that are driving this change, like blockchain and the additional blockchains, the new technologies that'll come out with AI, and how they're going to work for you. I'm trying to give you all that the best that I can. And again, this isn't about hype. It's about taking control of our destiny, your financial destiny, because the future is absolutely bright, and we're watching it all unfold right before our eyes. The absolutely greatest time to be alive. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this content tonight. Please like, subscribe, share this stuff out. Talk to your families about it. Talk to your friends about it. If they're negative to it, move on to the next folks. Those who know will know, and those who are meant to be part of this will be part of it. And that's part of this channel, just building a channel and an environment, a community that resonates together, so that we can all go through this journey of crypto together. And in the end, someday, we'll all spend our time together on the most beautiful beaches of the world. But with that, thanks again for watching, and until next time, Zip is out.